Okay, our wonderful student Frederico asks, what do I do if I get stuck with a song? A very simple but great question, and I'm sure we're all thinking this, right? We're playing a song for a while, we're making okay progress, and then you're just like, man, I'm like 3 weeks in, and I just feel like since week one, I really haven't made a lot of progress, and I'm just stuck. I just feel like I'm not getting any better, or maybe the song is just too difficult. By the way, number one solution there is kind of evaluate how much harder is this song than all the songs you've learned up to now. If it's way, way out of your range, maybe you just want to put that song on the shelf for a little bit and then, bring it back later once you have a little bit more experience. See how that goes. I've used that before to great, great success. Now, you also want to consider that you want to approach the song methodically. So you want to really not be, number one is approach it nice and slow and start identifying the mistakes that you're making and cleaning those up. If you're going through starting from the beginning of the piece all the time and you're not correcting your mistakes, big mistake because what'll happen is you'll just get that feeling like you're not making any progress. It'll sound the same all the time. So I guess the really big second point I have for you is don't start from the beginning all the time. Starting once you learn it for a couple weeks from the difficult parts and actually focus in on those measures alone and just practice those measures as well. And then if it's a song you just hate, every once in a while, I've probably only done it a few times in my life, just ditch the song and pick one you like a little bit better. You don't want to get in a habit of that, especially if you have a teacher, because there is a rhyme and a reason, a lot of times anyway, as to why a teacher gives you a song to play. And that's because there's usually like a lesson around it, generally on what they've been teaching you so far. So you generally want to stick with what they want. But if you absolutely hate it, every once in a while, it's okay to ask for a new song. See, it depends on what you might be at the mercy of your teacher on that one, but I'm not sure. And then if you've been learning a song for a while, say you've been playing it for months, you're able to get to the end of the song, but it's just not getting any better. Like you can just play beginning to end. It sounds okay. There might be mistakes in there. Go back and always never be afraid, no matter how proficient you are at a song, to go back and do slow practice, preferably with a metronome, but without's okay. Slow it way down. Try playing the piece, at like half tempo. So don't be beyond that, because this can be helpful in a lot of ways, because if you're playing real slow, sometimes you'll miss notes and not even realize it, especially if it's a fast song. But if you play it real slow, you might be like, ooh, I've been hitting this note right there and it just doesn't sound right. And then you double check and it isn't right and you go back and you correct it. So very good for finding mistakes is to just go back and do the slow practice. And by slow, I mean slow, cutting the tempo in half. And this can also help you correct rhythmic mistakes as well, because I'm telling you, the number one thing that trips people up is what? And I mentioned it a million times and I really mean it. It's playing too fast. And going slower is probably the number one thing you can do to help yourself. Of course, you need the other little tips to help you along as well. So that's some general tips I recommend if you get stuck